Hi, I'm Miley Oye. I'm a developer programs tech lead at Google. I've been at Google since 2005, working with our search and our webmaster tools teams. But if I were a consultant for your startup, here's all the advice I would give in under 10 minutes. This talk is aimed for companies who have their main content below about 50 pages. For those sites that are looking to rank for thousands of unrelated keywords, like an e-commerce site or a news agency, you might want to invest more time with SEO. My objective for this talk is to provide you the basics in the most efficient manner possible, and to help you feel assured that you're not doing something totally wrong related to search, and last, to provide pointers for more information. The first thing to do with your new domain is to decide whether you want visitors to see the www version or the non-www version, at which point you'll 301 redirect users from your non-preferred to your preferred version. Now, many large corporations like Google and Facebook actually keep the www version, but you're free to do whichever you want. The reason why we use a 301 and not a 302 is because a 301 is a permanent redirect. And that way it signals to applications like search engines to actually transfer all those indexing properties from the source to the target. The next step is to verify ownership of your site in Webmaster Tools. And I don't just say this because I work with a team, but I think this is really valuable. I encourage you to sign up for email forwarding. Email forwarding allows Google, when we have any message for you, like we think you might have been hacked, or we think your site is hosting malware, or we're having trouble crawling your site and we found a high number of unreachable URLs. So any of those messages can be forwarded to Google Webmaster Tools, and if you have email forwarding enabled, can be forwarded directly to the inbox that you check every day. One more research tip is to perform a background check on your domain. For example, if it was previously owned by spammers, then you're not going to rank very well now. So one good way to check is to look at the keywords listed in Webmaster Tools for your site and see if you see any unwanted words there. Also, you can see if you're indexed by performing a site colon search with your domain. And if you see any problems, the Webmaster guidelines can be found at this URL. And if you have questions about penalties or reconsideration requests in that entire process, my friend Tiffany Oberoi has a great interview listed here. I'd like to highlight the Fetch as Googlebot feature in Webmaster Tools. It's a great feature because you give us a URL and then we'll perform a crawl as Googlebot, and you can see exactly whether we've been redirected appropriately and exactly what content we download. An additional part of this feature, and I think this is really useful, is that you can actually tell us to not just crawl, but to submit to index for that URL. And this way, anytime you update a page or you create an entirely new page, you can trigger that entire process to happen by Google and have it available to searchers even faster. My next advice is to include analytics code, whether it's Google Analytics or another provider. Now, you want to start collecting this data even if you're not ready to use it, because once you hire someone, it's better to have some historical information about your site. The next part is the strategy in your site design. You'll want to create a great experience for all your visitors and their different personas. So consider your customers, also your investors, and what content will they see, or even the press. Some questions to ask when it comes to site strategy are utility. Does our site design meet the needs of each persona, and does each persona have a great experience? Navigation. If a searcher lands on a child page, and that's common with search results, they don't funnel directly through your homepage all the time, can they figure out where they are, and can they easily navigate to where they want to be? Another question is about whether or not your site is focused. Does each page contain one logical topic that's obvious to visitors? It's common with startups that, because you're tight on time and resources, that as you collect more information, you just add that to existing pages and make those extremely long, forcing users to scroll. But instead, think about your site design and if that should be broken up into separate pages.